As the Walt Disney Company stock price tumbles yet again, Bob Iger pulls out the only move that he has left, trying to rebrand the company as a technology company and adding in a streaming bundle that includes other companies' services. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and today we're going to talk about the stock price, first of all, and also all the things that Disney tries to do in order to defend that stock price. They don't have a lot of moves left as they put everything in the tank in order to fight Nelson Peltz. Anyways, we want to go to this discussion from That Park Place Live. Check it out and let me know what you think. Now, on the subject of the stock price, right now, this is up. This is up from what it was yesterday. It dipped below 80, and Disney made very few quantifiable moves that would help the stock price here. Also, I'm going to point out that while Disney is up 0.66, the S&P 500, you can see over there on the right, is up by 1. So it's not quite correlated to the market, but it is generally correlated to the market.
Just remember, for everybody who sells, there's somebody who buys. That's all.
That's right. That's very true. And Ike Perlmutter sold quite a bit. You should have seen the average volume on the day that it was announced that Ike Perlmutter had already sold most of his shares. A lot of them before April 11th, by my theory. So these are the news pieces. And by the way, Yahoo is generally favorable towards the Disney company here when they post these articles that they believe might be moving the stock price. Just a quick review of this. I'm seeing something that confirms my theory. It may be confirmation bias, but right here we have Warner Brothers not being a part of the NBA deal, which that is going to affect Disney because Disney and Warner Brothers launched their streaming bundle with an ad-free plan for $30 a month. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and then I'm going to say this before we get started, if that's okay, Joe.
Please go ahead.
With your kind permission. I will say this ain't going to happen. Warner Brothers Discovery is going to be suing the pants off of the NBA.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, Culture? Please expand for the audience.
Oh, certainly. Well, what we have is we have a contract that upon renewal, they are allowed to match any competitor's offer to retain the contract that they hold with the NBA. The NBA is reading that contract that they had with Warner Brothers Discovery and thinking it reads differently than that, which means there will be a court case coming up in the very near future, and one that, well, may force the deal. But I'm going to tell you, it will be very interesting for the NBA to weasel out of the language in said contract, according to Warner Brothers folks. So there you go.
Yeah, that's a very important point here. The NBA has, the word on the street was that HBO Max, they're all the same company. It's Warner Brothers Discovery, came in with an offer that matched what is it, Amazon that's getting in on this?
Yep.
And that was shocking to all of us because that was something that we thought that Warner Brothers might be stepping away from because they are very focused on holding on to as much money as possible, but they have to be profitable. They have to have content. They have to have something that they bring to the table when it comes to this agreement right here, Disney, Hulu, and Max launching a streaming bundle together. By the way, even though Netflix has said they're not going to get into bundling, that announcement came on the same day that they announced a deal. If you got Peacock and Netflix for an annual subscription, you could get a discount on that one. That one called.
We're not going to bundle until we bundle. That's what I want to be very clear about.
And here's a bundle for you.
Right, because this is all pointing towards cable over and over and over again. They're trying to reform on the systems that work.
They're trying to get the old gang back together.
The thing that I see right here is that Disney really wanted some streaming news to try to push their stock in the other direction. That is, I think, the only reason that this was announced on this day. I think they scraped the bottom of the barrel to say, what can we announce for streaming right now? I don't think ESPN is ready. I think the NBA deal, which probably included streaming rights on ESPN, I don't think that was quite ready. I don't think the ink is dry enough. But I think this is the only thing that they had right here that they could say to try to remind everybody, we're a technology company, which they aren't. They're a theme park company that makes some movies on the side, and they own some television stations. They're not a technology company. They are a broadcast television company with some interesting.
And they also wanted this on the record. It seems to me we're 2 weeks out from the earnings call, a week and a half.
It's true, August 7th.
So the point is, in the earnings call, presumably we will get the current number of memberships on Disney Plus.
That is very true.
And if that number sucks, and they can say, yeah, but we've already taken steps with this discount. Didn't you get the news? Didn't you get the memo? It's already covered. Don't worry, we're fixing it.
Right. They will expect to see those in the coming quarters. That's
in other words, they don't want to have it come out after that announcement, because then it's oh, geez, what happened? We better fix it. This gives them some deniability, not very good for anybody with a brain, but still, it gives them an answer to that question, saying we've already taken steps to fix it.
Right, because in this instance, they benefited from the Charter Spectrum deal, getting a bunch of quote unquote free subscribers. They cut off some of the funding that they were getting from Charter Spectrum. Charter Spectrum, first of all, said we want everybody to have a Disney Plus subscription. And so I'm going to say at Disney's pleasure, they can decide where those funds are assigned, and they can say, oh, well, this is all actually Disney Plus funds, because they know that no one is expecting linear to maintain profitability on that level. So they see a feasible excuse there. They could say, oh, well, this wasn't going to linear. This is going over to Disney Plus. So therefore, they're going to keep up their average revenue per user, which was in the toilet for Disney Plus compared to Hulu. And they're going to be able to fudge with those numbers.
And it covers over how many they lose because people find the Acolyte to be the last straw and walk away.
It's very true, unless they're getting it for free as part of their overpriced.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And so, as we see here, the business case for Disney, Hulu, and Max streaming together at a quote unquote 38% discount. That's the favorable headline. The other one, we saw it before, was Disney is offering a $30 a month cable or streaming bundle here with no ads. If you want these with no ads, which is the least profitable version for these streamers, it's going to be $30 a month, which is, yes, we are there where streaming services that don't offer sports are going for $30 a month. By the way, ESPN DTC probably going to bottom out in the 30 to 50 range. With this, I'm thinking we're going more towards the $50 a month range, if not more. So this is just something here that I'm seeing. Obviously, there are other things that could be moving the stock price here. Oh, here's a good one from Kiss My Grits for $2. Losing the NBA will cost Warner $3 billion a year.
They can't.
Grits, I'm wondering how much Warner Brothers put up in order to do that. By the way, Warner Brothers stock not doing so well on the news that they won't be getting this. So,
hey, I have a question. I have no idea. You know, all these quote unquote free memberships in Disney Plus that went to the cable people.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody at the cable company, because they're wired into all of our homes, knows whether we're actually watching it or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Do those numbers come out? Do they say, well, we have 8 million people who get it free, of whom only 2 million are watching it on a regular basis? Or do we never hear that? And does the stock reporting of the cable company have to report stuff like that as a what good did it do us to get it kind of measure?
Mm-hmm. If I'm not going to say what they are doing, but if I were the person preparing the financial statements, I would look for the most consistently favorable appearing number and use that as my metric. Viewership, if viewership is good, back in the cable days, it was much better. If it's average revenue per user, which is where they would balance out the free people versus the paid people, because the free people are watching ads, essentially. Whatever.
Are those the cable company's ads or Disney's ads, or how do they share that time?
Oh man, this would be a perfect one to have Kiss My Grits on the screen.
Yeah, because of course, in the old days of syndication, the way they'd get local stations to take a show for syndication is say, well, you get 4 minutes of ads out of the 12 or whatever it is.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. You get 4 for us, 2 for you. That's
right.
That kind of a thing. Yeah.
Exactly. But this deal, this astronomically sized deal between Disney, Comcast, no longer Warner Brothers, and Amazon is a drop in the bucket. This is not a lot of money for them. Just to point out for those of you interested, the entire value of Warner Brothers right now is sitting at $20 billion. That's after a bit of a dip here. If we go out to the again, we're not doing financial advice. You should never take financial advice from YouTubers, in my opinion here. But this is stuff that matters to these companies, because they are giant corporations more than they're really focused on entertainment. The entertainment is something that they have to take care of in order to keep that stock price up. But and again, to go to the difference between David Zaslav And Bob Iger, I think Zaslav is a little bit more transparent with the shareholders on what is good, what is bad. He's a straight shooter, and I think he's being punished for it a little bit. Whereas Bob Iger, consistently stretching the truth on how all of that goes, and I think people are catching on to that pattern.
And you also have to remember that a lot of these executives are getting paid in stock options as well as money. I remember as a child visiting a friend of mine from school whose father was a major person at Universal, and their breakfast room and kitchen were wallpapered with Universal stock. Literally.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious, because it was so low that it was like, well, we got to do something with all this paper. Then, of course, they started peeling because it got better. But I am literally serious.
Oh, that's fantastic. Was it your namesake by any chance?
No. No, it was actually, well, I shouldn't probably say. Let's say somebody instrumental in the creation of the Universal Studios tour. And you can figure it out from there, I think.
All righty. Thank you so much for being here for another episode of That Park Place. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think the stock is going to turn around just like it did last year? What do you think it's going to take in order for that to happen? Is it the arrival of Nelson Peltz yet again? Is it the rebuying in of Mr. Ike Perlmutter? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like this video if it's been helpful to you. Be sure to tune into That Park Place every Thursday at noon Eastern Time if you want to talk with us live, and of course consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.